Welcome back to Sport Nation and welcome to an outstanding area of natural beauty. This is the stunning Loch Ness in Scotland. It's a beautiful autumn morning at the start of October and more than 6,000 are crowding around the loch. They're runners lining up for the start of the 2008 Baxters Loch Ness Marathon. It's a real monster of a race.
Looked on the internet and it looked very good, so it's just the scenery more than anything else.
I do lots of marathons and ultras, so I train all year round. And I love this one. This one's one of my favourites.
The air was thick with a mixture of apprehension and excitement before the start, and to add to the atmosphere, competitors given a Highland send-off, the skirl of the pipes in the early morning sunshine. Competitors from all over the world are taking part in this year's marathon, including Ezekiel Chirrup of Kenya, former junior 5,000 metre bronze medalist, and in the women's race, the defending champion, the 2007 Baxters Loch Ness Marathon winner, Banwela Katasiga, is back to defend her crown.
Well done, all your runners. Now enjoy yourself and have a great day. And remember,
An impressive 55 nationalities represented this weekend, from Australia to Zimbabwe. Very busy start at Whitebridge, the mass of runners crossing the line. Not all here to be competitive, of course. For many, it's the personal challenge that appeals and raising money for charity. Early leader David Kirkland from Alnwick Harriers in Northumberland. Third in last year's Edinburgh Marathon. He was the winner in August of the Reykjavik Marathon, so he should be very competitive here. And he's taking up the running, setting the early pace. Well, the Baxters Loch Ness Marathon and Festival of Running is the largest participatory sporting event in the north of Scotland, attracting runners from across the country, the rest of the UK and internationally. Well, there's also a 5 and 10k fun run, but for most, it's the challenge of the marathon that really has the appeal. That and the stunning scenery of Loch Ness. Well, in an early change of lead, American Garrett Ash from Oxford University Cross Country Club takes the lead from David Kirkland. Starting to pull away these pair from the pursuing pack. And behind them, Ezekiel Chirrup, the Kenyan, moving forward. He's in third place. They're just over the 3-mile mark. Well, conditions absolutely perfect here. Chirrup closing on the leaders as everybody else enjoys the sunshine and the scenery. Well, she won the women's race last year, and it looks as though she's favourite to do so again this year. The Tanzanian runner, Banwela Katasiga, dominating proceedings. The crowd out at every turn to encourage the runners. And for those out, raising money for charity or for the fun of it, that's really important. Well, Chirrup of Kenya, former 5,000 metre junior bronze medalist, now up to second, ahead of David Kirkland. Top three very close together. But in the women's race, Katasiga completely dominant, setting her own pace. Very hilly course around the shores of Loch Ness, and that could be taking its toll.
So far, so good.
Well, it really is a stunning course, starting on the south side of Loch Ness between Fort Augustus and Foyers, then tracing the route around the side of the loch along the River Ness to finish in Inverness itself at Queen's Park Stadium. Drink stop for the leading three in the men's race, still all running as one. Nothing to choose between them. Garrett Ash, Ezekiel Chirrup and David Kirkland, the 1, 2, 3, with an hour and 11 minutes on the clock. Everybody else enjoying the bonhomie, the scenery, and possibly some of the hills as well. Banwela Katasiga already working her way through the men's field. Relentless pace from the Tanzanian girl. This is the 12-mile mark around the shores of Loch Ness. Undoubtedly one of the most scenic marathons anywhere in the world, particularly with beautiful weather like today. No sign yet of the loch's most famous resident, but there's always time. Lots of support from the local community. They benefit as well from this festival of running, with hundreds of visitors from all over the country and overseas staying and running having fun around the Loch Ness area. And in conditions like these, it's hard not to imagine how much fun it is. Well, Ezekiel Chirrup of Kenya has put his foot down now, taking the lead of the men's race. David Kirkland and Garrett Ash dropping back a little. And he seems to have it all on his own. He's broken the opposition. Many of the 6,000 strong field still coming around the lock, but Banwelia Katasiga carving away through some of the front-running men. And for the rest of them, a 2-hour time will be just a distant hope. They'll be happy to finish at all. Well, in the previous year, over £400,000 raised for charities across the UK. So it's a fantastic support as well as sporting activity. And Ezekiel Chirrup looking very strong indeed. David Kirkland still hanging on in second place as the snake of runners gets further spread out, heading towards Inverness. Chirrup coming into the outskirts of the town, and they head to the Queen's Park Athletic Stadium. David Kirkland now about 20 seconds behind. Looks as though he hasn't got much left to offer. Many just approaching the 16-mile mark, still out in the countryside. This is our early leader, Garrett Ash, the American from Oxford University. He's in third place, but Marcus Scotney of Dumfries closing fast on him as Ezekiel Chirrup approaches the 25-mile mark along the banks of the River Ness. David Kirkland still less than 30 seconds behind the leader, and the rest of them toiling up the hot hills. Along the riverside and through the town, plenty of vocal support for the front runners. The fun run has already come through, but the leader of the marathon now closing on his target. And David Kirkland seemingly satisfied with second place, and why wouldn't you be? Ah, there's Nessie at last making her appearance in the Queen's Park Stadium, and here comes the leader through the fun runners. Ezekiel Chirrup will win the 2008 Baxters Loch Ness Marathon. As he comes to the line, he's going to have about a 30-second advantage, and the time 2 hours 28.04. Well, that's a good time indeed on such a stiff course. David Kirkland just about 30 seconds behind for a well-deserved second place. Set the pace right at the beginning of the race, and a very good result for him. And another one of our early front runners, here he comes, Garrett Ash, ending up in fourth place. Marcus Scotney got by him close to the finish. He comes in, and the other fun runners still making their way to the finish, as are the rest of the marathon athletes. Well, no question who was going to lead from the front in the women's race. The 2007 winner returns and defends her crown. Banwelia Katasiga from Tanzania wins the 2008 Baxters Women's Loch Ness Marathon. She led from start to finish, and a 2 hour 51 time. Excellent result for her. Well, beautiful weather. What a weekend for the Festival of Running around Loch Ness. For the fun runners and the marathon competitors alike, it's been a day to remember.
It has been amazing. The scenery is really fantastic, and I have loved the whole race actually. A little bit heavy, but I can take it.
I'm glad to finish it, but it was very, very hilly. Good.
Will you be doing it again?
Yes, I think. If I'm still alive by then, yeah. No, I really, really enjoyed it. Really well organised. All the folk out clapping right out in the middle of nowhere was fantastic.
So it's a second consecutive win in the Baxters Loch Ness Marathon for Banwelia Katasiga, with Lucy Colquhoun just over a minute behind her and Jennifer McLean in third. So congratulations to our running queen of Loch Ness. It's her second consecutive Loch Ness Marathon victory, and she adds that to wins in the Tokyo and Madrid marathons as well. Her win was never in doubt, but it was a little closer at the top of the men's group. Ezekiel Chirrup in the end taking victory by just under 30 seconds from David Kirkland, with local boy Marcus Scotney in third place. So the Kenyan takes the victory plaudits. He is the big winner in the 2008 Baxters Loch Ness Marathon and Festival of Running.